Welcome to Sister Strong, a podcast and video series about possibility. I'm your host, Betsy Wiersma. This podcast and video series is built for you to share education and insights and ideas and connections to amazing women as we stand together, Sister Strong, for health and happiness. These are ideas for your toolkit, so try them on and see if they work. We are so blessed today. I wear my heart shirt because this is the day we are interviewing the amazing Sue Lee. You know her from Sock It to 'em Sock campaign, but there's much more to Sue Lee that I happen to know. So Sue, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here and lots of love to everybody out there.
Well, you know, we're doing this because there's so much stuff we each have to share to contribute to people's journeys, right? And so instead of creating a story that's not true, let's fill our minds and our hearts with things that are true and with the helpful things along the way. So besides founding the Sock It to 'em Sock campaign, the best charity in America and the world, tell everybody about the other part of Sue Lee.
Well, the other part of me is years and years ago, oh gosh, like 25 years ago, I created a program called Life Management Skills, which is really emotional intelligence that I took into corporations. And I did programs for corporations, but I worked at Lockheed Martin Saving Institute for 6 years, and I loved it. I loved it. And I would be helping people be able to empower themselves with EQ skills. And everybody kept saying, oh, I should have learned this as a kid. And that led me to create my program for preschoolers. But I love helping people look at those things that will lift us up. And boy, we are in a time right now where it is so important as to what are the EQ skills we're using right now as we're all doing social distancing, staying in our homes. What is it that we're doing? And so I'm happy to be here today to share some tips that'll hopefully help some people.
Well, you know, the name of the program, and I'm so familiar with it because Sue and I go back to bathing suits in a fairly mediocre warm pool when I was her student, and she was teaching water aerobics, and I got to meet her and her fantastic husband, Bill, and years ago in the Wayback Machine. And so I have known Sue for a lot of years. And so I know that that program is called I Believe in Me. And I think there's so many of us now that need to believe in ourselves, that really need to know we have the resilience. So why don't you walk us through a few things that maybe you taught kids for us older kids that you know from your background in this emotional intelligence?
Right. So really, I'm going to start with what it is teaching the older kids. So we older kids, the adults, that's who I started teaching. And the number one thing right now with what we're going through is, do you know how to be a friend with yourself when you're by yourself? And so many times we keep ourselves so busy because sometimes we don't want to be alone with ourselves because a lot of things come up about ourselves or we don't even know what to do with ourselves. And we're just like, people, I'm so bored. What am I going to do or whatever? And I've always thought that it's really, really important to like who you are. So the first thing is to become a friend with yourself. Do you like who you are? And the beauty of being you, being who any of us are, which we also know from Kathy Hawk, our dear friend Kathy Hawk, is being above the line. So when we feel ourselves spiraling down, to be able to lift ourselves back up. And sometimes that can be real challenging when it's just you. So in this social distancing and this time of those of us who are right now, like in Colorado, we're not to be going out and about. And there's people like myself who I'm all by myself. I live totally alone. And those of you who are living either alone, or maybe there's 4 of you in your house, or maybe there's 3 of you in your house, or 2 in your house. It still boils down to, are you your own best friend? Do you know how to get along with yourself? Because if you are putting that burden on the other person or the other people in your house, it makes it really hard on them. And we all can relate to that. When we're in a situation where someone else is calling upon you to make them feel so good, or to what might they do next? And of course, we always have that often with children where they're going, I'm bored, what can I do? One of the best things in that regard also is to say to them, well, what might you do? What are some of the things that you can think of that you might want to do? But it first comes down to that aspect of how do you get along with yourself? Can you be alone with yourself? Do you like yourself? Are you your own best friend? Because we're spending a lot of time alone right now, which takes me to another whole thing, which I think is beautiful right now. We're getting to learn a lot about ourselves. And it really seems, from my perspective, one of the things that's happening is it's like Mother Nature saying, I want you to all be on pause for a while. I want you to think about who you are, think about the earth, let the earth breathe for a little bit. Let's work at how we might take care of ourselves, what it means to be a friend to yourself and friends to others. Because not only are we having to be by ourselves, but we're having to be conscientiously aware and loving and compassionate to everybody who's falling ill. And Mother Earth fell ill some time ago. And so in one of the beauties of all this is we're also taking care of the earth right now. We're really letting the earth breathe right now as we all lovingly try to help each other and protect each other from becoming ill.
Well, I'm going to stop you there for a minute because I know everyone listening is like, wow, she said so many good things. Oh, yeah, yeah. But one thing I noticed is your vision board behind you on the wall. And you know, such a big promoter and proponent and maker of vision boards. But, you know, I think one of the things that this pause is giving us is a chance to take a breath. And I would say an exercise is, you know, write down some great things about yourself. You know, like I call it what you know for sure. I found myself journaling at night just to kind of get some stuff out of my head. And one thing I always do in my day, morning, and my night is to have my gratitude list, right? And say, you know, what am I thankful for? And I've been trying to think about the resilience that I have had in past times. You and I have shared hip replacements. We had to learn how to walk again. You know, like there wasn't like, it's not fun to learn how to walk. Like we had to learn how to walk again. What's your next question, right? So I think some of the things that are in us, maybe we have been so busied by the world that we don't take time to really appreciate. And maybe this is a time we can take a breath, and in that breath, say 3 great things about yourself. Like you have the super cute heart t-shirt, you know, go there.
Yeah.
You know, I've been trying to do that.
That is so, so important. So I have an exercise that I'll gift everybody right now. This is everybody's homework, seeing how you have a lot of time to be by yourself or with your family. This is a great homework assignment for yourself as well as for those that you live with. And I call it the I am assignment. And I am are 2 of the most powerful words in any language. And you better be careful what you say after that. I am blank, right? So my assignment for people is that it can only be positive things. And it should be as easy as doing the ABCs. I am amazing, I am brave, I am capable, I am determined, I am efficient, I am friendly, I am good, I'm happy. Notice I'm doing the alphabet. So here's everybody's assignment, that to lift themselves up, to say good things about yourself. So you're going to be saying 26 things, you're going to do the whole alphabet. And for people to do the alphabet, you have to be creative with X. So I'll say, like, for instance, like I am exhilarated, I am exciting, something like that, where you're using the letter X, but it's EX, because there's what, I'm an xylophone.
Yeah, I have a xylophone.
And so you'd be creative with Q and X, and it's really fun. And it really makes you think about yourself. I do this on a regular basis. I do it every day. I do it when I'm working out. I do it when I'm walking. I do it when I'm driving my car. And I try to think of different words. I do it before I ever do a presentation. Like when I went to school a couple weeks ago, I did a presentation at assembly that had to do with socks. But then people who, if you're at home if you're a couple, or if you're a family, everybody does their I am statements, but then you do we are. And you do that as a family group or as a couple. We are aware, we are bold, we are capable. And at times like this, we have to have tools to be able to lift ourselves up, right?
That sounds like a good game. It sounds like something we would have done in college with a little less focus on gratitude and more focus on who drinks the next beer. But yeah,
Right.
you know, and this game can be modified to any of your social pleasures. But what a fun thing to do with kids of any age. Also, I think it'd be fun to draw. I am, you know, because I always got to work that art in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What would be one more tip that you would give people? So, you know, we are taking a breath. We're realizing we are our own best friend. You know, be careful because whoever you are, that's who you're with, yourself. You know, that person's not going anywhere. So befriend yourself. Practice really appreciating that with the fun ABCs and I am. And what would be one more tip, Sue, you would share with the sisters in the world?
You know, I'm going to go right back to the gratitude thing. We can't do that enough in one regards. It is like, what can I be grateful for right now? So part of that, along with that, is to be in awe and wonder. Because if we can be in awe and wonder, I mean, isn't it amazing, amazing, Betsy, that we can talk like this through this camera and this technology? That's just fantastic. And the wonder of it and the gratefulness for that. Those three things together every single day, because the bottom line is right now we have this moment. And we put all those moments together and they make an entire lifetime.
Yeah, I love the awe and wonder. Would you give everyone an update what's going on with our favorite charity, Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign, that I know we can't gather in your house legally to sort socks or anything, but tell us what's going on with that.
Well, thank you for asking that, because in this time where, for instance, in Colorado and all across the country, many, many states are, you know, whatever people are calling it, whether they're calling it lockdown or stay at home or whatever, restricted movement, those people who are in need still need us. And so we as an organization can still give out socks. So today, for instance, I went and met somebody at storage, gave them 579 pair of socks, where I had them on my car. Otherwise, I already had them at my house, but I met him at the storage area. And I stepped back, let him take all the bags out of my car, stay away from each other. He'll take them to a facility where they're going to be handed out. And so we're still trying to do that. But the other thing too, that is and not to blatantly come out and ask for funds, but that's always a significant thing, that we do have to keep going as an organization. And this coronavirus episode hit us exactly when we were going to be doing our major fundraising.
That's right.
And so we have several fundraising activities we were going to be doing, a big one that would have been coming up in the fall, but we have had to stop on that. And that really is hitting us hard. It really is. So that's one of the things that if anyone has the means to be able to support us that way, we'd love the support of the socks. We totally appreciate the support of anything, whether it's $5 or $50, and not to ask, but to let people know that it's not just us, it's all nonprofits. Where everybody's
really, we can ask, Sue, we can ask. And, you know, like even the camp fundraising hasn't even started. Our big fundraiser was last night. And of course, it was actually tonight.
Yeah.
For you, our fundraiser for you was tonight, which is not now. It will be in the summer, but thank you. And so tell everyone, please, how to get a hold of you and how to get a hold of the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign.
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign is you can either email me. So should I give out my email?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm giving out my short one because the other ones are really long. So the short one is enochsue@comcast.net. That's Enoch Sue, like Enoch in the Bible. enochsue@comcast.net. People can also call me at 303-929-0556. Again, that's 303-929-0556. 0556.
And Sue, if anybody would like to get some consulting from your past life, you know, and emotional intelligence and team building and things, and perhaps they'd be willing to make a hefty donation to your Sakatuum Sock campaign for your skills, that might be another way for people to contact you, to dust off some of your old great skills and team building when it's needed most. And what a nice way to build more money for Sakatuum and for you and your world.
Absolutely. I'm happy to help anybody empower themselves, because that's what it's all about. So
Well,
thank you so much.
so much, Sue, for being part of the Sister Strong video series and podcast. This is built just for all of you. It is built to have ideas and insights and education and connections to amazing women like Sue Lee and all the women she hangs out with. And this is just for all of us to stand together, sister strong, for health and for happiness. And we can do that. So please share this podcast and video series with anyone that needs uplifting ideas, good energy, wonderful connections, or just have a little bit of entertainment and fun about how we can stand together, sister strong. I am your host, Betsy Wiersma.